Welcome to the Legal Clinic. My name is Kiroko Ndegwa. I'll be your host for today. In this show, we focus on the frustrations people go through, where they seek for justice. We advise them, and we try and help them achieve that which they've been fighting for through provision of pro bono services. Remember to subscribe to our channel so that anytime when there is a new story, you'll be able to follow and get to learn from the experiences of others. Today, we are joined by a special guest. She's in Seattle, in United States of America. She's going to introduce herself shortly. She has a story that hit our headlines back in the year 2012. Purity, karibu sana. Introduce yourself to our viewers.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ndegwa, for the invitation. My name is Purity Matu, and I am about to narrate my story. 9 years down the line, still crying for justice. I am from Nyeri district. That's where I was born.
Yes.
And I went to primary school there. And later I went to secondary in Kirinyaga district, Kiroga Girls. And I finished. And immediately after I finished my school, I just started a business. And in the process, I met my husband. Now he's the late, Mr. Joseph Matu. We're here. And we got married.
My condolences.
Thank you so much. He got married, and God blessed us with a girl who is Jacqueline, my only child. But now I'm happy because I'm a mother and a grandmother. So we started business. I started business. I've done business for more than 30 years. So I was doing my business in Odaya and later relocated to Nairobi. And I was going to Dubai. I was going to India. I was going to Uganda. I was going to Kampala. I was going to Sudan also, and also to Rwanda. So this time, I remember very well, it was 2006 when my business started going down because of something happened that I'm not able to explain it on the air, but something happened that took all my money. Then we struggled. By this time, my husband was a CEO. He had a clinic. And then after that, for his clinics was doing well, but me, my business was not going well. So I met a friend of mine, and she told me in Sudan there is business. So I decided of relocating. I went and discussed with my husband, and sold the idea to him, and asked him whether he can allow me to go there, and he said it's okay. But I was to go there only to stay about 3 weeks or 2 weeks, and then I could come back. So I did my business, and I went in Sudan. I relocated. That was 2008 December. It's the time I relocated to Sudan. I worked there for 2 years alone, but on 2010, 2010, almost near December, it's the time my husband requested me whether I can join him because his business was going down, was not doing good. So I told him it's okay, and I supported him because he never knew the place. That time, I had already stayed there in 2 years, but I was going every month. I was going to Kenya to visit him, and he joined me in 2011. So we stayed with him the whole of 2011 and 2012, part of it, about 8 months before the tragic strike. So I remember very well this day, very clearly. It is still clear in my mind. It was on Friday when this tragedy started. It was on Friday morning. He woke up in the morning, just as a routine, the way we were waking. He was an early bird because he was waking very early. He woke in the morning at 5, before 5, he prepared himself. He went for church, morning glory, because we are going to church in the morning, lunchtime, and in the evening. But me, since I don't like working very early in the morning, so I usually go in the evening. I was going the evening. In the morning, he left very early morning. It was on Friday, 3rd of August, 2012. He went to church and then spent 1 hour, then came back. He got that I had prepared breakfast for him, and he took the breakfast and he went to his place of work. And me, I was also working there because we were working not far from where he was working. It's only some few meters. It's not very far because it's the same town, Tolit town. It is not a big town, but we used to do business there, and it was good. So this Friday, there were inspectors for the clinic inspectors. They were coming to do investigation, not only his clinic, but the whole of the Tolit town. So at lunchtime, he called me and he told me to join him where he was working, so that he wanted me to be within there allowed, so that I can help him to explain, because he never knew Arabic, and those people that were speaking Arabic, they were not fluent in English, so they were preferring to speak Arabic. And I understand Arabic, although not all of it, but I can communicate. So on Friday, he called me at 2 o'clock and he told me to go there where he was working. I left my work because I was operating. I had I had 3 shops. I had a boutique, I had a Mari shop, and also I had a hardware. So I left, but I had employed people, all those 3 places. I went to his place, and now we waited for those people to come, the officers. At around 4 o'clock, or between 4 and 4 o'clock, 4:30 o'clock, they came. When they came, they inspected the place, and everything was okay. He had all the license required, but after they said everything was okay, they wait outside there. Just few meters from the shop, they went outside. I don't know what they discussed, because immediately they came back and they told him, it's not telling, actually it was not telling, they commanded him to close. And then he asked why, and I have license and everything I've given you, and you have said everything is fine. They started saying, because of this bed, the bed, you are supposed to be having a license, or do you have a license of this bed? He said no, because he's not aware, and the bed is a part of the clinic. It's because it was the examining bed. Okay, I told him it's not good to exchange words with them. Let's just close the way they have said. And we closed down, and we went to home. We took some drink, and then we went to my place of work where I was working. There was a girl who was there I had employed. I took the money she had sold, and then we passed to the other shop for Mali. I got the other boy who was there I had employed. We took the money, and then we went to the shop, to the hardware. That was my main base where I was most of the time staying. So we were making fun there, discussing, talking, like that. As time went by, it was allowed 6. He received a call from the secretary, and she told her to go and open for her to pick the keys, because the time the policemen came, they were told to close in a hurry. So she was not able to pick the keys of the house. So he went and opened the clinic. But what shocked me, immediately he opened the clinic, it was so soon, because he called me like about 20 minutes, and he told me he had been caught up. So I think those people.
He was arrested?
Yeah, he was arrested. So I wondered whether those people that were still there, they were waiting for him, or what happened. Okay, he called me, and I told him, can you give me the phone so that I may talk to them? Because me, I could talk Arabic. Because even if those who know English, they were not speaking English. So they were talking Arabic. They refused him. So he just told me to go. So the time I started going where he was, I missed the way because I used the shortcut, and they ordered him to close down immediately, and he arrested them. He was arrested. They took another route. So the time I was going, the shortcut I took, and before I reached where the clinic was, I saw somebody just near another Kenyan who was doing to me like this. He told me, he's there down, he's calling you. And the time I faced where he told me, I saw him. The last thing still that I remember, he was calling me like this. I followed him, and when I went wherever I saw them, I did not see anybody, and I thought maybe because I was told he was arrested by the police. So I went to the police and asked them where my husband was. They told me he's not there. Before I finished, another person came and told me he was taken to the security. So I went there, and they told me he's there. I wanted to talk to him, but they refused. They did not allow me to see him, neither to talk to him. So they told me, just go, sleep, come early in the morning. It was now getting late because all this thing, it was in the evening. And
Okay, let me ask, if I may ask, you mean by saying that he was taken to the security, you mean he was taken to the police station or something?
No.
Of that sort?
He was gotten by those people from the security.
Oh, the security people are the ones who had arrested your husband, or the police?
Yes, instead of the police. They never took him to police.
Oh, okay.
I took him
Yes.
he was taken by those people for security. So
Okay.
they denied me to talking to him or seeing him, but they confirmed that he was there. So me, I requested them. I think there is some. Can you hear?
There is noise at the background.
Yeah, there is so much noise at my background. Okay, I don't know what we can do about that one.
You are near an airport.
Oh, it's something outside. Oh, it has gone.
Okay.
Okay, so I request them because they told me just go sleep and come tomorrow in morning. I request them, can I bring for him some food? They told me okay. I went, I called my friend, I passed in my shop, the other boutique. So there, I had a friend who was my neighbor. I told her what had happened, and I requested her whether she can take me. We went, and I bought some food in a hotel. So immediately we took the food, together with that friend of mine. I asked them whether I can give the food. They said no. They just told me to taste the food. I tasted the food. I pleaded with them. Can I see him? They said no. They were about even to beat me. But the other lady, my friend, she told me, because you know these people, the way they behave, just leave them, let's go. And now, this time, we are talking in our vernacular language, because we could not speak a language they couldn't understand. So we went, and I slept, but the night was too long for me. I did not get sleep until 3 a.m. There's something I've forgotten. Before I slept, I called some few people and I informed them what had happened. I called another friend of mine and I told her, and she told me, do this. There's nothing bad will happen, but what we are going to do in the morning, I'll take you to go and see him. So I'll prepare for him pancakes, and you prepare tea, and we shall go together. So because I did not sleep the whole night. I overslept because I slept like 3 a.m. in the morning. I overslept. So by 7 o'clock, my friend called me and asked, you are still sleeping? And you told me that you wanted us to go very early in the morning. I said, I overslept, but let me wake. I wake very quickly, and I prepared tea. Actually, I was not able to prepare tea. I just boiled some milk, and we went. We met with her there. Surprising, when we reached there, they told me my husband was not there. I asked them, where is he? They told me he is admitted in the hospital. I got shocked. I wondered, in the hospital? What is he doing in the hospital? And he was not sick. They told me he is there. When I tried to ask them they tried to hate me. They wanted to hate me. So my friend told me, just leave, let's go. So we went in the hospital. It's not very far, but it's maybe like a half kilometer or less. We went and we got him where he was. We were told, we inquired for the nurses where he was, and because he was a Kenyan, and there were only few Kenyans who were admitted there, so it was easy to know where he was. They told me he is in a certain room. We went there. When I went there, I was surprised. To got him, he was lying back on his back, and he had that previous Friday, he was wearing a t-shirt, a white t-shirt. It was brand new, and a brand new trouser, blue jeans. But this time, they looked so muddy. I wondered where he got the mud from, because it had not rained for a long time, almost a month. And now here he is. He's all muddy, and he was breathing very hard, in difficulties. He was not able to breathe well. I tried to call him. I called him. He could not hear me, and he was unconscious. But I never knew. But I tried to call him. I tried all, but he could not hear me. So the other friend of mine, she told me, let's go out. Me, I started crying to see the way he was. So we went outside. Immediately I reached near the door post. I was unable to move anymore. Sasa hapo ndio nikashindwa kutembea, hata nikakaa hapo, nikama nikaaguka hapo. She tried to drag me, tukatoka hapo. We went outside there, and now she told me, where is the friend Washuka? Sorry, I don't want to mention anybody's name, but she asked me, where is your friend? I called her, but I could not. She told me, can you scroll and call her? I took my phone. As I was seeing darkness. There is nothing I could see. I told her, just scroll, and she called. She called that lady, and she came immediately. They came with somebody. When she came and went where my husband was lying, she started screaming, crying. And then, so when the time she started crying, I knew that all was not well. And she came and joined us, and she started calling. We called our fellow Kenyans, so the people, they started flopping the hospital. So it was like now, it drew attention for all the Kenyans. They started coming, and it spread there, because the town Torito was not that big, saying that Daktari has been beaten, and he was beaten badly, because he could not speak, he could not do what. And when they saw that everybody, now so many people were flowing there in the hospital, they called the police, and it became a police case. And that lady helped me. She called the commissioner. She called the people from the UN, and so many started crowding. So we requested them whether they can allow us to remove him from that hospital and fly him to Kenya, where he can be treated. They said yes, but they brought some drink tactics. They were saying, do this, and now time is moving, and we don't know, because he's not speaking, we don't know what is really happening. And we could see him that he was in great pain, trying to struggle to breathing, and nothing was being done to him. So we tried our level best. They say because of the security was so bad, they said we cannot go alone, and we have to go with the commissioner and some security men. So, and we needed a lot of money. So this lady, she decided to talk to the Kenyans to raise some money for us to help us to go. So some people they were raising money when we are trying to know we are trying to maneuver the way we can take him. It took us long because there was some drain. They were telling us to go there, to go there. So we thought of we can take him in the plane. The plane they managed to get, it was so small. And no, we were told it had taken somebody else to Kampala in the hospital.
Okay.
So they decided we can look for another big plane, but wherever the plane could land, it could not land because it was so big. So we decided to use maybe the communication, the road. By this time, it is getting late because now it's allowed 4 o'clock because those things they took long time. We struggled so much. At around 4 is the time we started the way we are going to go. We got some pickup, a truck, and 2 personals, and the commissioner were to accompany us, and some of the army. We started, so even getting them, it was another problem. It took us another almost 2 hours. We started our journey to Juba, and we had to move with a convoy because there was a security. People, there's a sample population, people were being killed. So we had the convoy of the commissioner and the police or the army and us. We went. It's allowed before. It's a long journey because the road is very loud. But before we reached in Juba town, there is the Nile River. It's just in the town. We immediately closed now the Nile River. My husband passed on. So, I had the driver, because I was seated here in front, the driver said, in Arabic, Demu to Kalas, and the man has died. I said, what? But the doctor, because we had gone with the company with another doctor, I saw him, he was trying to do him first aid, but it never succeeded. So this time, because we had to stop the vehicle, because of whatever was happening that time, I went out. I was confused. I was heading to the Nile River, but I never knew where I was going. They called me. They got hold of me, and they told us to proceed, and we proceeded. So we went to the hospital because they tried to tell me he's not dead. So I had the hope. So we went to the hospital because already we had made arrangement when we were installed. We had called the hospital and they were waiting for us. So immediately we went there, walimwangalia wakaona amekufa. And these people we are together with him, they didn't want me to tell me that he is dead. So nikasikia na wao wakisema na Kiarabu ati amekufa. I could not take it in. It was so hard. So confused. I got confused. I wondered what to do. We are in a different country. It has happened. I could not believe it. It is at night. It was around midnight. So I was. They told me to go another car. Nikaingia kwa hiyo gari, nikakaa hapo. They took him to the mortuary, and we went to look for somewhere we can sleep. We don't know anybody. It is at night, midnight. We went and we looked for a hotel. We slept. We looked about 3 rooms. All the men, they occupied the 2 rooms, and us, we occupied the other room. We were about 2 women. I was me, and I had another cousin with me, and another friend of mine. So we slept. Me, I did not sleep because I could not get sleep. For them, they slept because they had a long day. It was tiresome. So in the morning, we waked. It was now Sunday morning, because all things was happening on Saturday, because he was taken to the cell on Friday night. So Sunday morning, we started looking the means that we can take him to Nairobi. So I had to inform my people in Kenya, the families, and fled. Now the hardest time was this. I was wondering what am I going to tell them? How will I report? Because we went with somebody, he was fine, and now he is now dead. What will the family say? So I was not even to tell them, and I was also wondering how will I break the news to my daughter. They were very, they had good connection with the dad. They were friendly, not only the father, but he was more than a friend. So it was very hard. I tried to call, but I was not able to call. My friend, she's the one who did that work. Yeah, she told me, I can do it for you. So she did so much because me, I was not able.
Pole sana.
I was not able to call anybody to tell them whatever had happened. But for them, she did it. First of all, she called the brother, and the brother, obviously, he got shocked, and he called the cousin, and now the greatest, what I was feeling most to tell my daughter, because I thought if only she get those news, or even her, she might die. So for that one, we did not tell her, but we just told the brother and the cousin. So she continued telling people, and other people, they were making arrangement because it was very hard. It happened, thank you so much, it happened in another country, so things are different. We are looking the way to fly him. We don't know how to do it. They said that they suggested that we can bring him. We can use maybe a lorry or a bus, but a bus we cannot bring him. Maybe you can use a lorry. I said no. I would not like him to be driven by a lorry. Maybe a plane. But this time, the plane, I don't know why they charge so much for somebody who is dead. They charge more than 10 times than somebody who is alive. So they charge us a lot of money. And at that time, I didn't have that time money because it just happened. Something it was not planned. It just happened. It was an accident. So they told me, don't mind, they are going to raise money. So they called this lady. She called into it, and they started raising money, and we started doing what was supposed to be done. We reported, and everything started, and we were told tukaambiwa tutengeneze jeneza ya kumpeleka ile inaweza mpeleka. Tukatafuta mbao to get tibas. There is a problem, tuko na shida, so you are not able to do everything on that day, Sunday. And the plan was on Monday we fly him to Kenya. So everything was done in a hurry. Nikukibia hapa na pale. We struggled, and the place was so hot. So tukatafuta bao na akatengenezewa, na tukaenda kwa ambassador. We are given a letter, and we prepared ourselves on Monday evening to go. We are supposed to leave by 7 in the evening. So when we went in the airport, ndege ikakuja, watu wakaingia, wakaweka jeneza, wakajaribu kuweka wakashindwa. The place where it was to be put, ilikuwa small. The place was small and the coffin was big. Wakashindwa. Sasa wakatuambia, because of the time, and we have to keep time, we cannot wait for you. So what we are going to do, we are going to leave you here. By tomorrow you can get another flight. Sasa hiyo ni shida, another time. Ni shida ingine. Sasa tumebaki kwa airport na coffee. Somebody who is dead. We are unable to do what? We are wondering whether to go back to the mortuary, where to do what. Huku kulingana na mila zao. Kurudisha mtu kama umetoa mtu kwa mortuary, ni tabu kumrudisha. So somebody came with a thought, although it worked. It was not a good thought, but it worked. Whether we can move with him to where we were living in the lodge, and maybe hide, try to cover up, then sleep there. In the morning, then we look for other means. Ndio tulienda tukafanya, we took him to the lodging where you were. Wanaume wakakaa, hiyo saduku ikawekwa kwa pickup nyuma, it was covered. Tulitafuta tukanunua chandarua, it was covered. By this time, unajua mtu kama amekufa, there is smelling, we are feeling also, but we got some marashi and it was played. So vijana wakalala hapo nje. Men, they are so good, they help because they are the one, they slept there at night. Wakalala na yeye huko nje kwa jeneza, kwa the pickup, kama wamesurround the whole pickup. Na mimi tukalala tukaingia kwa room. We just took one room, all of us, we about 4. But me, and the second day, that day, I did not sleep because I could not get sleep. I had thought coming in my mind. I was wondering. I was just regretting why he came. I was regretting why we went to Sudan. I had so much in my mind. So it's now that day I've not slept. My head was aching. So in the morning we went, and hiyo saduku ikatengenezwa na ikawekwa the measurements we had been given. So the following day, the other plane, because we went and did the booking early in the morning, ndio tufanikiwa kukuja. We went in a lobby. By this time my daughter was old. She was informed. Tukaenda, we got there were so many people from the place waiting for us at Kenyatta airport, because they had come on Monday. We did not come, so the following day they came. Tukakuja huko, tukafika. Sasa wakati tulifika, sasa kuona sasa mtoto na my family friend, it is another problem. Nikalia, I cried. Oh, and all those 4 days I was crying. I was confused where to start, where to end. Sasa ndio tukaenda nyumbani, and on Monday night tukaenda. Was it on Monday? Yeah, I think on Monday night tukaenda, tukalala na si kulala my 4th day. Sasa kisho yangu ilikuwa imefula juu silala 4 days and 4 nights. Sasa watu wana flu, they were coming, and those were, I got some people already at home waiting for us. So the people they wanted me to narrate the whole story, because each and everyone just want to hear from the horse's mouth. Then it was so bad for me. You might remember this story I'm narrating. It's so weird. It's not a good story. It's a story that is stealing me. It's hurting me. It's also destroying my brain. So I had a hard time, because I repeated the story more than 100 times, even in the morning. So at night, allowed maybe 2 o'clock is the time I slept a bit of it. I had to take some pills that I may get sleep. I slept in the morning. I've slept a bit because I have not slept for about 4 days, almost 5 days now. So we started the arrangement, the way we are going to rest him. Ile mambo ya mazishi vile inaedaga. Tukatengeneza mazishi. Now, this time people are asking so many questions without answers. Even me, they're asking me, and still I don't have an answer. Telling them whatever happened. Some they believe, others they don't believe. I was asking God million questions with no answers. God, when you have a problem, you ask God a million questions with no answers, because God is not like a man. He cannot answer you there. He knows why it happened, but me, I don't know. So we did arrangement of everything, and he was after maybe 10 days we let him to rest. He was put on rest on 14th of August. So after that, there was now the problem, the decision. I was unable to decide whether to go back. That time it happened. It was an accident. So it happened, There is nothing, any arrangement. My shops are there. Everything is there. His clinic is there. My families, they didn't want me to go back. And me too, I was torn between two forces. Will I go back? Will I not go? I don't have anything there. All my shops are there. And then my husband has died. So I was torn between two forces. So there were two groups. Some they were saying that I go back. Others they were saying not, I should not go back. I stayed about 2 months, but early January of, I think it's early January of 2013, we went with my friends. They told me, no, you have to go there because your things are there. And then here in Kenya, there is nothing I could do. I didn't have money. I didn't know what my business was there. I don't know where to start. I was so lonely. Again, the friends who was coming during that time of the funeral, and my relative. After the funeral, everyone went. I was left alone. My daughter was working. So I was staying the whole house, alone in the house, crying. I was crying during the day. No, the night, sorry. No one to comfort me. So I also thought the idea of going back there, though it was not the best idea, but it worked for me, because instead of staying in a house, crying all the time alone, I saw I should go back there. So my friend, when they told me, we just went with them. We went. After I went there, those people, the government of Southern Sudan, they had said that they are going to compensate us. There are some clips I sent to you, and still I have some more I'll send to you. I sent you all those things that are in the YouTube. I have all the documents they had written to me. Some they destroyed, because the time I went there, they asked me to go with them. They were telling me that they want to help me, but I never knew it was a plan. They never gave them back to me, but still I managed to get some. So I have all the evidence. So I continued with my business. Some people now
just a question.
Yeah.
The government of South Sudan told you when you are to bring those documents when you are returning to South Sudan, for them to help compensate for the life of your husband.
Yeah, that's what they were telling me.
For the loss of life of your husband.
Yes.
And they took those documents and destroyed them.
I don't know where they went, because the time I asked them, they never gave me the documents. Yes. But some of them I had managed to get copies. Some of them I had got. The one I had gone with them in Kenya, I got copies. But those one who
what are the documents they destroyed?
Whatever happened, they had written whatever had happened. That duration he was, they picked him. Whatever they was done, they had written. So they are the ones that they destroyed, because I think they destroyed because it's a proof. They destroyed. But I have other documents. The one I posted to you. Not posting, but the one I emailed to you, and still I have some more. I have some clips in the YouTube, the one I sent to you, and still I have some more. So they said that they are going to compensate, but they never compensated. So I stayed there the whole of 2013, but boy, it was over. At allowed in September. I saw some strange things happening. I could see some people following me, and I got feared. The time I went back, I did not leave the house we are living. I had to shift. I called my friend and I asked her whether we can be living together with her. She told me it's okay, one of my friends. So I moved in her house. No, she moved in. We looked for a bigger house because my things I had. And they could not fit in a small house. We got another big house, and we used to live together with her, because I was fearing to live alone, because something could have happened. So September 2013, it's the time I saw some things. and I was going to bring some goods from Kenya. I went there. I was packing a whole lorry. I could pack some of my goods half lorry, and the rest people could assist me. They could pay me, and then I could fill the whole lorry and take them. So this time, immediately I went to Kenya and I took the goods and I came. It's like they were waiting for me. When I was in Kitale, I received a call. Somebody and asked me where I am. I said I was in Kitale. He told me they were looking for me because they came in the house. They did not get me. So when I went, after 2 days, immediately the time I was offloading the lorry, I could see some people, strange people, going around the lorry, asking me questions that they were not adding up. So after the offloading the lorry, even I had not gotten money from the people because they had given me deposit. Then the agreement was after I deliver the goods, then they would give me the other amount of the money. So this time, I discovered different people coming to my shop doing some funny things, because one day after arriving, the following day, the time I was gone, I was in my hardware place, a shop. 4 men came and they started asking questions. They were hearing question, throwing question one after the other. I wondered if these are the customers they came to buy. Why are they supposed to ask me all those questions? So I don't know. Somebody said they can see something on top of the shelf, and there was nothing. But when he was lifting his up like that, I saw a pistol which was here. So I thought maybe something's bad, because before I went back to Kenya to get the goods there, there was a Sudanese woman, a friend of mine. She told me the way those people they were saying that if they knew, because the time my husband was killed, they said there was a lot of demonstration with Kenyans, and they said if only they knew that would happen, they could have buried him. So they said that they are going to kill me and I'll never be seen. Nobody will ever see my body. That is what that woman told me. I thought maybe she was making me to fear, but it was true. So this time, when I saw those people, they came in my shop. They were asking questions. I just went out. I told the boy who was working there. I had employed a boy. I told him, let me go, I'm coming. So I talked to my language, I'm coming. I left them there asking questions. I feared and I went. So that time, it's the time I decided to run away that night. Because I was told that there was something, they were planning something. Nikaogopa, nikaona maybe they are going to kill me, and they had said that they are going to kill me. Na nimeona sasa hapa dalili. So I organized a night. Nikaongea na huyo mama, tulikuwa na rafiki, the one we are showing the house. Nikamwambia there's something has happened in Kenya, I have to go. So nikaorganize very quickly. Nikapita mtu wa taxi, nikamwambia nitakomboa taxi mpaka Juba, so that I may get a bus from there, because I was fearing to fly with a plane, because it will set them alert. Sasa tukaenda mpaka tulienda usiku, the whole night, sikulala. I just called another man, nikamwambia and escort, there's something has happened in Kenya, na nimepigiwa simu niende agent. Juu sikotaka kumwambia hata yeye, juu ningemwambia the whole story angeogopa na angenisindikiza. Sasa tukaenda, the driver na huyo that man, tukaenda wakanipeleka Juba. That's where I took my bus, and this time I was praying God to help me to just arrive in Kenya safely, because I never knew that I could make it. Tulienda kuna vile wanatafuta nafika mahali they were doing search, alafu tukaambiwa tuende. Sasa wakati tulienda kwa mpaka ya Uganda Nimule, ndio hapo nilipumzika, nikaona sasa I'm safe. It took me 2 days to arrive in Nairobi, because coming with the bus is not easy. It takes 2 days. It's tiresome. It's only
Pole.
sacrifice. We are
Pole.
sacrificing ourselves ndio nikakuja Nairobi. Sasa
Pole.
nikotoka nimetoroka, na imagine I have left the whole house, vitu yangu ziko huko, nimeasha all the
And
shops.
your biashara.
Yeah, because I was running for my life. So I never came with anything. I just came with a briefcase and very few, anything I was able to take, very few. So nikakuja, nikaanza maisha Kenya. So I had a problem because I don't have money. All my money I have left there. By this time, I had some money in the bank. By that time, the money was in Kenya money. It was 1.5 million. Right now, Kenya US money, it was $10,500. Nikaasha kwa bank. That was solid money in the bank, and all my properties was there, my shops. I went home empty-handed. Sahi sina bwana na sina pesa.
Pole. Pole sana.
It was so hard, and people they don't understand. Some things happen, but people they don't understand. So the only
Pole
person.
sana.
So the only person to comfort me was my daughter. She used to come
Yes.
in the evening, and she was telling me, "Mom, don't mind. We are going to make it in Jesus' name." Okay, all the same, we made it because God is great. I stayed there alone in the house. I started business, the little money I had in Kenya bank, and I opened a business, a hardware. I did not do well. I shifted and relocated severally with the same hardware until I got fed up with it, so I could not do it anymore. Because things were not easy.
Pole.
I tried to do the transaction of the money. That money was in South Sudan. The cash I had, that is a lot of money, 1.5 million. It could have helped me, but nobody was there to help me. I was fearing to go back. I could not go back. I suffered. I thought of selling something, but I said, I'm not going to sell. In between is the time I thought of going to sell somewhere else. It's the time I decided I can relocate and go to US. I tried. I had an invitation. I came to visit, and now I am in US right now.
Okay.
And that's how I landed here. So that time, before that time, and I came back to Kenya, I tried to follow the case. I went to the migration. I went to where they told me that they are going to help me, but there's nothing they did. I was only receiving calls, threatening calls, anonymous calls. There's one time they tried, I was hijacked. There's some things I don't want to say here, but it was not easy. I went through a lot, but God is good. Now that I'm here, I managed to land here.
Pole sana. Pole. The pain of losing a husband is only known to the wife. Pole sana. If I may ask, so how are you doing now? Have you been able to settle in the United States of America?
Yeah, at least now I'm settled here.
Okay, that's wonderful. How is your family, your daughter, your grandchildren?
They are doing fine. They are good. We usually talk
Yes.
with them through Zoom, video call.
Yes.
I'm happy. Yes, but
Yes.
still, I'm still crying for justice because the government of Kenya, they had said that they are going to connect with that one of Sudan, and they will pay him. They will compensate because it's not easy. Whatever they did, it was good. But there is nothing they paid.
Yes.
It did not pay. Whatever was done, the money which was needed, they were done by my fellow Kenyans. And also, I would like to give special thanks to all the Kenyans in southern Sudan by that time, 2012. They did a lot. They did a
Yes.
good job. They helped me. I'll never forget. I pray for them, and I pray God that may open doors for them because they helped me. My
Amen.
friends also, my
It is well.
relatives, and all the friends who were in Nairobi that time, they stood with me because it was not easy. So I also take this chance to thank them.
Okay.
And also
Let me
thank
ask.
my
So,
family and my
sorry.
daughter
Sorry.
because she has been studying with me all through. She
Yes.
told me, "Don't mind,
Yes.
mom, all will be well." Yeah.
Oh, wow. If I may ask, when you conducted a postmortem on the body of your deceased husband,
Yeah, we conducted.
what were the results? What did the results of the postmortem show? What killed him?
They said that he was killed. He was hit on the head with a blunt object.
Okay, so it
Yeah,
was
because
brand force trauma.
even picture, even the photos. I was given the photos, but
Yes,
the phone got spoiled. They were very bad, very bad. All the pictures. He was hit. He was
pole
beaten.
sana.
Yeah, he was beaten severely on the head with a blunt object, a heavy object. He was killed. Actually, he was
Pole
killed.
sana.
Yeah. I have
Pole
those
sana.
documents,
So, yes,
and I'll email them to you. I think I
yes,
emailed them to you, and whatever I have not emailed, I'll
it
do
is
so.
well.
Yeah.
It is
So,
well.
yeah.
Now,
So that time I was in Kenya, I went all the offices I could, looking for justice. I never got one.
yes,
But that time they killed my husband in Sudan. They were giving us sweet talk, giving us
yes,
promises, and I never saw one delivered to me. I never got one. Everything went down. To make the matter worse, I lost even what I had. I suffered mentally and physically.
pole sana. Uh, what happened to your businesses in South Sudan? Did the people you had employed, did they finally probably, did they send you the proceeds of their sales, and or they were just taken away? What transpired after you left?
You know, anytime you are not there, the business cannot go well. I just lose them. But to
Yes,
start with, before they knew that I was not coming back, they could sell, and they
yes,
deposit the money, and that is the money I'm talking about. It was
yes,
in the bank, 1.5 million of Kenya.
yes,
So I was
yes,
not able to get even that money. I don't know what happened in the shop because anytime you are not paying and you are not there, they just left a dick, and I was not able to manage it because I was not there.
Oh, pole sana. So you lost all your businesses when you left?
Yeah, I lost all my businesses. I lost my husband. I lost my money. I
Pole,
lost everything. It's only me was
pole.
left with my daughter.
Okay. You said that there were people who were following you. Were
Yeah.
these people the police, or just some henchmen,
Oh,
some unknown people?
when I was in Sudan, those who were following me was part of the security.
Yes.
I think they were planning the way they are going to get hold of me. But because of God's grace, they were not able. And when I came
Pole
back in
sana.
Kenya, still I could receive anonymous calls. And there is one time,
Anonymous calls. Yes.
yeah, and there's one time I got a letter dropped in my
Yes.
near gate. Yeah, in my gate. Actually, it was put there. There were some threats
Here
there
in Kenya.
in Kenya. Yeah,
Not in South Sudan.
No, even in Kenya, I got a letter there. So I don't know those people, whether they are still connected in Kenya. I don't know. I cannot tell.
Yes.
But even Kenya, there is nothing
Okay.
they did, because they had said that they are going to follow it. I sent
Yes.
you a clip of the ambassador of
Yes.
Sudan saying that they are going
South
to do
Sudan.
something.
Yes.
Yeah. I also have
Yes.
the paper, the Kenya Gazette. No, not Kenya Gazette. The Nation paper. There are several
Mm.
things which are written there. I emailed to you.
Yes. Um, did the government of South Sudan give you an explanation on how your husband met his death? Was he beaten up by the police? Was he beaten up by inmates? Or what was the excuse they were giving on how your husband met his death?
They did not give me what they were saying. He collapsed.
Yes.
They were lying to me. They collapsed, but he did not collapse, because when we went there, he was good. He was not sick. He was not suffering anywhere. And at the night
Yes.
is the time they beat him. He was beaten to death.
Yes.
And when they were beating, I think the time they hit him on the head, he had internal bleeding, and that's why that's what led his death, because he collapsed. That's what they just told me. He collapsed at night. So what made him to
Okay.
collapse? They did not told me what made me to collapse.
Okay.
But it's not collapse.
Oh,
He
pole
collapsed because of
sana.
beating. Yeah, it's because of beating. Because after postmortem was done, he was hit on his
Yes.
head with a blunt object.
Yes. It was a blunt force trauma.
Yeah.
That he was hit on the head, and from that he could not have survived.
Yeah.
Did you get an opportunity to speak to your husband before he met his death? Like when you visited him in hospital, was he able to talk to you?
No, he was unconscious.
Okay. Pole sana.
After between the scene, whatever happened that time, they picked him up. The only what thing and I
Yes.
remember showing him, the last thing he did to me, it's like this, very far. He was very far from me. Then he saw me. I was looking where they had taken him, and he was very far down somewhere. So he did his hard like that. That is the only thing. That was the last sign he did to me like this.
Okay. According to the authorities in South Sudan, why did they arrest your husband in the first place? Pole sana.
They never said why, but they were accusing him. He didn't have the license for the bed. He had the license for doing for the clinic, for the lab,
Yes.
and for the chemist, but for the bed. And bed.
So they
actually,
arrested him because he had a bed in his clinic.
Bed they allowed, because even other clinics they were having bed. There is no way a doctor can do without a bed, because that's where people lie for examination.
Yes.
But
Okay.
I think they were
Okay.
just trying to get something. I came to realize later, because whoever authorized all this one to happen, there is one time he had told me whether I can talk to my husband and agree to be employed by him, because he had a clinic, and his clinic was not doing well. So Sudanese and Kenyans, they were coming to my place, to my husband's place, and he was not going to his clinic, and his clinic was well set up. It was good because he was the director. So he was not happy about that. So he's the one who directed them to do that. And even the time I went there, back there, he told me sorry, but he never said sorry for what.
That person, your business competitor, said sorry.
Yeah. Because of competition.
Pole sana. Pole sana. Let
I know him,
me just highlight.
but I don't want to say him here, but I know him.
It is well. Pole sana for the loss of your husband. No human being should go through what your husband went through, and particularly should lose their lives in the hands in an extrajudicial way. it is only through the operation of the law that someone should lose their life or any natural cause. Pole sana for that.
Thank you.
So have you been able to follow with the government of South Sudan since you left Kenya to the US?
No, I was not able. Because the time I was falling when I was there, I saw it was not
Yes,
fruitful. And also it was
yes.
now leading another because they wanted to kill me so that the evidence may go away. So I decided to run
Okay,
away for
okay.
my life.
Yes.
Yeah, no one could help me. I tried. They told me they are
Mm.
going to act, but I think all those were false promises. They just wanted that thing to pass by. But
Oh,
for sure,
pole
it's not.
sana.
Yeah, it's not. For sure, it's not good. For heaven's sake, killing people like that,
Yes,
it's not godly. You are not supposed to kill somebody whatsoever. And actually, there is
absolutely.
nothing he had done. Even if it was a license,
Yes,
although which he had, but I'm saying even if
yes.
he didn't have, he's not supposed to be killed. He's supposed to be told to get a license or the close, not killing.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, the best thing would have been to charge him in court,
Yeah.
and for him to either plead guilty or not, and but for the law to take its course. Whatever law he had violated, he ought to have been charged in court for violating that law, and then given his right to fair hearing, but not for that extrajudicial uh, killing, not to be murdered in the police cell. So it is your contention that your husband was never released at any point in time uh, when he was arrested and when he was and when you met him in the hospital? He was
Yeah,
all this time he was in the hands of the police
yeah, he was in the
in
hand
South
of the
Sudan.
police because they picked him
Yes,
at around 6:30, and we went
yes,
there. I went there twice. The time he called me, I went forward there. I thought
yes.
that they could release him. They refused. They told me to come in the morning. Is the time I went to that lady. We went there. We left there at almost sabiri usiku or 7:30
Yes,
in the evening,
yes.
and very in the morning we went there. Is the time they told me he collapsed and they took him to the hospital. They said openly he
Okay.
collapsed and he took them to the hospital. So my question I was
So,
asking, why did he collapse? Because he was not sick. They
mm,
just told me, don't ask us
and
question. He just collapsed.
okay.
Yeah.
It is well. It is well. Paul Sana, here at the legal clinic, we advise your story is rather strange that someone would so promising met his death in such an inhumane way. It is also rather shocking that the diplomatic relations that Kenya and South Sudan then enjoyed, very little was done to help get justice for your husband. One of the things that a human being is entitled to is right to life under the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Right to life is paramount. No one is supposed to take away your life unless through the operation of the law. Now, that's what your husband uh, lost, and lost in an extrajudicial way. You have, from your story, I hear you have tried the best you could to help resolve the dispute or to help access justice, but very little was done. You tried all the local remedies, but none of them succeeded, including issues of dialogue, issues of writing to the local authorities to the authorities in South Sudan.
Yes.
The next step should be to sue them in a court of justice. There is a court called the African Court of Justice. That would be what you should do, and we will take all the necessary steps to ensure we get redress from the said court. We will work together with you on this one and
Thank
keep
you.
our viewers posted on the progress we make.
Okay.
As a human being, there are rights that are non-derogable. It means they can never be taken away. And one of those rights is the right to human dignity. How your husband met his death was one undignified. It is not right to treat a human being that way, and that is actually prohibited in the various statutes and international laws, which Sudan is a signatory to. As a matter of urgency, we write to the national government of South Sudan and ask them about, through the embassy here, and ask them about the progress of your matter. And should they fail to respond, then we have no other way but to seek for justice through the African Court of Justice. We hope to, at the end of it all, help you achieve that which you are well entitled to. A right for to be compensated for the violation of the rights of your husband, who met his death in such a long time and in such an inhumane way. Pole sana.
Thank you.
And I hope that God will help you and your family, that the loss of your husband shall not be in vain. Pole sana for what you have experienced over time.
Yes.
I pray that we shall walk together in this journey, and
thank you. I know it was not easy.
in the fullness of time.
Yeah.
I understand. Pole sana.
And I pray God that God
I
will
know.
help you too.
I
pray that God will help you too. You know, there is this case in the Bible in Luke chapter 18.
Yes.
For the widow who was
Yes.
looking for justice. She looked
Yes.
for justice, she cried, and that judge said, though I don't fear God or I don't fear any man, I'll do justice to you. The same words I'm praying, God, that I may meet my justice.
Amen. Amen. Pole sana.
Yes.
May you help. May God help you settle wherever you are.
Yeah, thank you.
Just out of curiosity, did you move to America, to the United States in search of for safety? Was it as a or is this one of the reasons why you moved to South Sudan to the United States of America?
Yes, because sometimes I could see strange things, and the letter I got, still I was fearing. I don't know who had written the letter.
Yes.
So I never knew what will happen, because I got the letter immediately.
It is well.
Immediately we buried him. Is the time I got the letter. How it came to my place.
So they were still
I don't know.
They were still following you up.
That's why I'm saying I don't know. I don't know whether it was connected with the Kenya government. I cannot tell. It's not good to speculate. But I got a letter, and it was a letter. So I feared.
Yes.
Because that letter, I don't know where the letter I put it. I could not find it that I was coming. The letter had indicated the life of one person cannot make the two countries not to unite. That's how the letter was written. So either I leave this case or they eliminate me. So I don't know who had written the letter. I don't know.
Pole sana. Yeah. And that happened. You received the letter when you were in Kenya?
Yeah, when I was in Kenya. When I came back to Kenya is the time I got the letter. You know, I was going to the Kenya offices.
Yes.
So
they traced you up until where you are living, and they gave you that, and someone dropped that letter at your house.
That one I cannot tell, and that's what I was wondering. Where did because it was Nomina's letter. It was just for
Oh,
threatening.
it
Was
was
a threat.
anonymous.
Anonymous
Oh,
letter.
okay,
A
pole,
threat.
pole,
No,
pole. So,
no one they have not said who have written the letter or any things which are written there for this for scaling you.
pole sana,
I don't know
pole.
what to say. It's for scaling.
So,
Maybe they I don't know, but only God knows.
pole sana,
Yeah.
pole sana. I guess because I see our time is up,
Yeah.
we need to follow up on this matter
Yeah.
and keep our viewers posted. We hope that at the end of it all, we'll be able to get justice for you.
I pray for that.
So, our dear viewers, this is why we come to the end of today's show. We need to keep you posted on the progress we make on the matter. Thank you so much. Until next time, bye bye. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for all the viewers. And I also pray God that He may lead you. Anything based on God, I know it will succeed. And He's an able God. He's almighty. He have done great things.
Amen.
Not only to me, not only to you, but the whole universe. So I believe in God, and He's the one who have taken me. Therefore, I have gone. It's God, because I never knew that I could make it. Just imagine you lost everything. I lost my husband. I lost my money cash. I lost the businesses, and God did miracle. He brought me here, and here I am.
Okay,
So
thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your story.
Mr. Dego, and whatever you are doing, God, you are doing the work you are doing. It's not in vain. There is the scriptures, Proverbs. I think it's Proverbs 19:17. I'm not long. The one that say, whoever do anything for the poor, you rather it to God. I know whatever you are doing, the way you are doing for the work you are doing for poor people, or those who are not able to do those things the way they are supposed to be done, who are denied justice, God will repay you.
Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your story. And Paule, we hope that we walk this journey together and be able to achieve that which is intended. Amen. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.